So how many of y'all ate eggs today? If you did, you're rich. You are rich. I didn't eat eggs today, bro. I'm saving that for a special occasion. Eggs are like, you can only, the price of eggs now, you can only eat them on a special occasion these days, bro. Seriously. You know what I mean? But let's get to the madness, man. So y'all know how this goes. Question everything. You should. And remember, these videos are for entertainment purposes only. Let's get to it.
What is happening? For real. This is disrespectful.
Yeah, just for the record, we don't have a shortage of eggs at our Walmart because of the bird flu. I know in a lot of markets there's eggs not available, but I will tell you how you can tell there's a shortage. This is an 18 count of eggs for $12 freaking dollars. Bruh. 60 eggs. 36 bucks. Yeah. So we got plenty of eggs. Just bring your credit card. Yeah, just for the record.
Like, who would have thought you'd be standing in front of eggs making life decisions like, you know, did I pay that bill? Or do I pay that bill? Or do I want some eggs with some grits and bacon? I gotta get gas. I gotta go back and forth to work. I get them on the next paycheck. I get the eggs on the next. That's what I do. I get the eggs on the next paycheck, get gas this paycheck, and then, you know what I mean, figure it out after that. That's what you gotta stand in front of eggs and do these days, bro. It's crazy.
This footage right here literally is the reason I never ever want to leave my house again. Me and my husband don't really get out much together, so we hired a babysitter and went out to dinner. And my phone had an alert, and this is what we saw on the doorbell. We called our babysitter and told her to go into the master bedroom and lock herself in the bathroom. Told her basically nothing's wrong, just a precaution. And we left the restaurant and came right home. But on the way home, of course, I'm watching this. God, I don't know what was said. The whole video recorded as white noise. But clearly she has something in her hands and it looks like a baby. And there's a storm outside. I don't know what her intentions were until we saw what she did at the end. But before that, she's just staring up into the sky. There was no rain. It was just thunder and lightning, constant. I had the babysitter on speakerphone on the way home while I'm watching this happen. We tried to reassure her and let her know that the police are on their way. It won't be too long. What I saw next made my heart drop. The thing we can see her holding here that looks like a baby was a doll. She must have been using it as a prop to get into people's houses. This footage right here.
Oh, it was just a doll. It was just a doll. It was just a doll, bro. You know what I was thinking about too the whole time? Is if she'd have if you'd caught like the sounds of the actual Ring doorbell and she'd have been on there talking, I just want to purge. I just want to purge. Yeah. My mind is sick, bro. That's what I'd have been thinking about.
So let's talk about it. As always, entertainment purposes only, my opinion. So by now, I'm sure you've heard the chatter about Canada becoming a part of the United States. Again, entertainment purposes only. Canada most definitely will be absorbed by the United States. So you kind of have to think of the resurrection, if you will, of the seven kingdoms. So look at the continents as the kingdoms. So think of the stories that were told about how we were all kind of separated and kind of divided with the language barrier, right? So we can't communicate and come together and talk about things, right, and ask questions. So the seven kingdoms are going to be the seven continents, basically. So Canada, the United States, all of that is going to be one. So take South America and all the countries there, it's going to be one, and so on and so forth, right? Yes, the seven kingdoms are within, the entire kingdom is within. So the chakras is a different kingdom. You can almost look at it like principality. So whatever frequency you are resonating with, like kind of on an average, that is the kingdom you're in. So it's so easy. You could be way up here, right? And then you get your energy kind of all out of whack and you're fallen. You're the fallen angle of light. But if you are unable to kind of balance that energy and operate in the 3D as well as the 5D, if you're not getting stuck there in the lower vibrations, right? You're mastering this, right? So there is going to be a lot of casualties coming, but you have to remember, we are in the exit phase of this. Okay, so if you are unable to raise your vibrations because you've had plenty of time, and you're never even going to start raising your vibration if you don't start to heal. And you're never going to start healing if you don't take accountability for how you feel. Only you are in control of your emotions, right? Take control of your mind, meaning don't entertain all of the negative thoughts that are coming in. If you don't like the song playing, change the station. You are the real CIC, creator in control. Okay? If we know that our thoughts and our feelings are creating our reality, that means in a common sense train of thought, you are the commander, baby. Yeah, y'all might look at me like I'm crazy, but I got the assignment. I'm playing the game. You either come here to play or you watch other people play.
And it's not like we don't all possess that knowledge of self and have that information that he's speaking of. And we know it. It's just sometimes we get thrown off course and need to be reminded, bro. And even myself, like hearing this just, it sets me back on track. And now I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go now. You know what I mean? Not just based off of what he said, but just getting yourself back center and reminding yourself and removing all the negativity and drowning out the noise and getting back to the mission. The mission.
Is America the upside down? Because why we do everything backwards from all the other countries? We're the only ones that drive on the opposite side of the road. Not only do we drive on the opposite side of the road, but the steering wheel is on the whole other side of the car. Pounds is money somewhere else. Here is weight. They're doing things in kilometers. We're like, oh, it's X amount of feet away. In other countries, feet are the things you walk on. A lot of stuff around here, it's starting to make more sense now that I know that this is the upside down. Of course, actors in reality TV, celebrities, would be presidents and run the country. Duh. In the upside down, who else? Of course, the people who play the most substantial role in your child's life, teachers, make the least amount of money. That only makes sense. In the upside down, of course, we got rid of all of the female fruit-bearing trees and just left the males, and then complain about there being too many people starving here in the country. Of course, the wealthiest people use the most financial aid and subsidies in the upside down. Of course, there's more people of color globally that exist, but they're considered the minority. In the upside down, it all makes sense now. Of course, this video is just for entertainment purposes. In the upside down.
All right, what makes us human or humane? I think what makes us human is our ability to not live at the expense of another human being, right? So if someone is living quite lavishly at that, at the expense of another human being, can we classify them as human? And they're okay with it. Can we classify them as human? That's the question.
Well, then my kids aren't human. They've been living off me far too long. Yep. They're not humane. Humane, whatever we're dubbing them. Yep. I agree. Matter of fact, after this video is over, I'm gonna let them know. They ain't humane. Gotta stop.
This is a very tinfoil hat take, but I don't think it's a conspiracy. If you know, you know. Ever since they turned that particle accelerator on over at CERN, they messed up our time, y'all. Like, tomorrow is going to be Friday already. Why does it feel like yesterday was Monday. What? They're eating our time up. Like, something is off with the time, y'all. I'm telling you, time is going by way too fast. And I promise, like, it has everything to do with that particle accelerator over at CERN. I don't care what nobody say. I knew it wasn't gonna be right after, but I couldn't figure out what was gonna be off. I think it's the time. Cause what is happening to our time? Like, years feel like 6 months max. Like, it don't even feel like 6 months to me. COVID doesn't feel like it was 5 years ago? It doesn't feel like something is off. Very, very, very off. This is a very...
Hey, I agree. And I'm so mad at myself that I forgot about CERN. But bro, CERN can explain probably what we're seeing in the skies. The Dior bags, the orbs, the plasma orbs, like everything that's going on, the fire, everything going on could be tied to that particle accelerator over there, bro. Like, we tried to tell them not to turn that thing on. Now look at us. Look at us, bro. CERN. I'm so mad I forgot about CERN.
There's this one guy from Zimbabwe that they just locked up because supposedly he created like free energy. Oh. So, fam, he created a generator that doesn't need a power source.
Wait, what does it use?
No, it's okay. So watch. Scientists went to Zimbabwe to check what he did.
Yeah.
And he created a generator that uses different frequencies to create energy.
Oh.
Frequencies of the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And then that's what creates his energy. And supposedly it's supposed to power up like 300 homes. And what they did, locked him up. All his patents,
They took it
because whatever defies physics, you can't patent it.
Oh.
And then once he got out of Zimbabwe jail,
yeah,
he goes to America, right? Bam, guess what they tried to do? Poison him.
Wait, so he's dead?
No, he's not. Like, they tried it. But
all this guy on Joe Rogan, bro.
What the No, because that's the only thing, like, if you really bag it, that's the only thing that AI and other things can't touch because it's free energy.
Yeah.
So AI can't touch that. Nothing can touch that realistically.
That's the part that outrages me. This is unprecedented. No, it's not unprecedented. I mean, California burns down every single year. What do you mean you're going to do better next time? That woman in tears saying to the governor, is it going to be different next time? Oh, it has to be. It needed to be different this time, Gavin. And there's simply no excuse. I really don't even believe you can blame it on incompetence because there's already a mandate. For example, in 2014, Proposition 1 passed that put billions of dollars towards building new reservoirs. That's already in place. Not one has been built. There have been calls for controlled burns for decades. We did them historically throughout my entire childhood and young adult life in California. And now we've stopped because I'm not even quite sure. It could be the cost, I've heard. It could be environmental pressures. It could be both.
That's interesting, man. Like I said before, and I don't even live over there, but from the outside looking in, and as many wildfires as they've had, they should have had at least some things in place. Maybe you didn't get to complete the task of everything you wanted to have in place, but you should have had some things. Like that guy coming up and developing his own thing and using his pool to like, you heard that story? Like, why did he have to take it upon himself to create something? Because he knew somebody wasn't doing their job and there was going to be a lack of something or equipment or something to help them the next time one of these fires presented themselves. He wanted to be prepared because he couldn't trust the administration to do so. And he ended up saving his place and maybe a few others. Like, yeah, come on now.
Just let me start off. The fires in California are tragic, but I have a question, and this is why I like TikTok, because TikTok algorithm is unmatched. And before the 19th or whatever, let's send out a little birdie. does anybody in that area work for a moving company, or does that type of work contracting moving expensive items or furniture and stuff? And so my question is does anybody in the LA area that do that type of work, do y'all, prior to this this current fire, do you recall a month ago, 2 months ago, having jobs in that area moving furniture? Because we know with the diddler situation and all the stuff that's coming out about Hollywood, Hollywood's been kind of on edge, especially leading up to January the 20th. So my question is, and it's just like, I'm just curious, like, is there a possibility that some of y'all that are in that line of work of moving as movers, do you recall a month ago working in those areas, moving furniture or things around? Or because I know the rich won't do it themselves, they're gonna hire somebody. But it could have been weeks before now, it could have been a month before now, could have been 2 months. But and it probably didn't make sense why these people were moving things around, because I mean, I just have a question. And I haven't seen nobody ask this on TikTok. So let's let the algorithm do what it do. And somebody, if you out in the area, if you in that line of work of a mover, and you recall y'all blowing up with these jobs a month ago, a few weeks ago, and these rich people are scrambling to move their furniture or things, anything of the sort, duet, stitch this, because some of us want to know. So TikTok, do what you do.
Yeah, internet investigators, that's what we need. Where's the internet investigators at? So I'm sure y'all gonna be able to piece it together and figure out and look at the numbers and see if the moving companies had a sudden spike. You know what I mean? Had a sudden spike of business. We can be able to figure out and point to who saw something coming and was getting out the way. But you also give it time. Give it time. Somebody will say something. Somebody will say something. That's the good thing about this day and age. Somebody gonna leak it or say something.
See how clear. Now that on the left, that's a reflection, obviously. This is not. It's a Dior bag. Lewis Center, Ohio, January 11th, 2025.
The truth about artificial coloring. For TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only, so this video doesn't get taken down. But all these food colorings, and this is just a few, all of these causes chemical changes in the brain. It alters your brain chemistry. There's no nutritional value at all, so there's no reason that they should be putting this in food. Only used to make food brighter. Let's get started. Red number 40 causes hyperactivity, impulsiveness, fidgetiness, and migraines. It's similar to ADHD. It lasts 1 to 2 days after consumption. Green 3 causes mania, hyperactivity, a feeling of euphoria, similar to bipolar disorder, and it lasts 12 hours after consumption. Blue 1 causes irritability, moodiness, fatigue, similar to depression, and it lasts 24 hours after consumption. Yellow 5 and 6 causes anxiety, aggravation, aggression, violent outbursts, defiant, and suicidal thoughts, similar to oppositional defiant disorder and conduct disorder, and it lasts 5 days after consumption. So who does this target? Our kids. Look at all the ingredients of any colorful food item advertised for kids. Artificial coloring, kids get pumped up with pills because of their dis-ease. Pharma and medical gets your money. It's all a business while you're sick and stay sick, because those medications does not heal you. Why do kids get attracted to things with bright colors?
because it's in their nature. And DEA, because we don't have DNA, our melanin has DEA, to crave berries for their sweetness, because berries contain natural fructose that can be broken down by the body. Anything artificial trying to sell to our kids contain high fructose corn syrup that cannot be broken down in the body and converts to hyperactivity until there's a crash. Then in return has withdrawal symptoms like drugs. That's why when there's fruit snacks in the store, they try to replicate the berries and put high fructose corn syrup instead of the natural fructose that it contains. If you don't buy it, they will stop selling. Take your power and your health back, because only you can control what you feed your body with. Take this as an example. This is an Easter egg kit that my daughter got as a gift. Look at the ingredients. Yellow 5, yellow 6, blue 1, red 3. They say this is food safe dyes. This should not be consumed. It's also, look at this innocent treat. You would think. Turn that around. Blue 1, blue 2, red 40, yellow 5, and yellow 6, and red 3. You get hit with everything just by consuming this one thing. And who's gonna grab this? Look at these cuddly things. Of course a kid is gonna wanna pick this up. You guys gotta make smarter choices. Save yourself. The truth?
And the colors, again, just like I was talking about with like McDonald's and the Golden Arches, right? Those colors attract those kids. The kids in turn aggravate the parents until the parents, give in and say, you know what, just to hush the kid up, let me go get this. Just like those colors on those candies right there. Like, it's the food, man. It's the food. And maybe when things can calm down, we could take that trip overseas or somewhere and just compare the food in different places that take like eating seriously, not just any old place, because some places aren't better than we are, but the places that really do care and you see what's in their ingredients, it ain't a whole lot. But for some reason, ours have to have a whole dissertation when you read the ingredients. You know what I mean? It's just too much.
I just want to put this thought out there, and this is for entertainment purposes, but think about this for a second. Do you know that we are now entering an era of health like never before, where people are becoming more awakened and educated on the truth behind these large corporations, behind the food that we eat? And I think about how that food has maybe not killed us right away, but has definitely lessened our life expectancy. And all of this esoteric information and knowledge of our ancient past have been also surfacing on how long we've been living, etc., living or lived in the past. How there are still some individuals, even now in this modern age, that live well up into their hundreds. And I can't help but think, like, was part of the agenda in trying to, obviously kill us off, right? But shorten our life expectancy, because if we were to actually eat all of these natural resources, imagine how long we would all be living as a collective. Just want to put that out there.
I think we'd be living longer than that by now. You know what I mean? Maybe earlier on the previous generations before us, well down the line before us, I think they would have been in the hundreds. And then we would have took it even further as we gain more knowledge and better ways to do things. We'd have probably got to the 150s or the 200s. That's what I believe. But yeah, sometimes it feels like, do y'all want us to get there?
I want to be very, very clear. Yes, we took a $17 million budget cut. And as we know, any budget cut would negatively impact our ability to carry out our mission. I want to also clarify that I'm not a politician. I'm a public servant. It's my job as the fire chief for the Los Angeles City Fire Department to make sure that our firefighters have exactly what they need to do their jobs. And that's why I'm talking to you today. The Palisades fire, everybody's seen it. It is absolutely one of the most horrific natural disasters in the history of Los Angeles. And even with an additional 100 engines, I tell you, we were not going to catch that fire. But with that being said, let me be clear. The $17 million budget cut and the elimination of our civilian positions like our mechanics did and has and will continue to severely impact our ability to repair our apparatus. So with that, we have over 100 fire apparatus out of service. And having these apparatus in the proper amount of mechanics would have helped. And so it did absolutely negatively impact. I want to also be clear that I have, over the last 3 years, been clear that the fire department needs help. We can no longer sustain where we are. We do not have enough firefighters. With that, I have also requested multiple budgets, interim budgets, to show how understaffed, under-resourced, and underfunded the LEFD is. So with that, also, we have clear data that shows the LEFD needs more help. We need 62 more fire stations. These reports also show that we've had a 55% increase in overall call volume since 2010. And guess what? We're doing it with less firefighters.
Let me stop right there, right? And let me tell you why. I've been going out of the fire service for years, right? But I was there for 7-8 years, I think it was. And staffing was always an issue. Not enough. Not enough. And let me tell you as to why. You're not going to keep good people around who have families at home paying them crumbs. Paying them crumbs, right? You're talking about somebody who's putting their life on the line, does not know whether or not they're going to go home at the end of their 24-hour shift or whatever they work. We worked 24 on. When I was there, 24 on, 48 off. The end of their 24-hour shift, right? They didn't know. So you're asking a person to go in when everybody else is running out. You're asking a person to go in and fight these fires and these hazards and these different things, and you're not paying them nothing. Like, I'm not even talking to the point of making them rich. I'm talking to the point to where they live just comfortably head above water. Do you know most firefighters have 2, 3, and 4 jobs? I had 4 to try to just be comfortable. I was doing multiple things. I was a firefighter. I was an EMT. I was working at International Paper doing fire and medical, and I was working at Arizona Chemical across the street from International Paper doing fire watch on my days off. I was doing all that just to stay comfortable where I was able to take care of things, bro. You get what I'm saying? Like, so what happens is a lot of firefighters obtain certifications. They get their firefighter 1, their firefighter 2. They get hazmat tech. They get all of these certifications. They get fire science degrees, which I have an associate's in, fire science degrees. You get all of this schooling, training, learning, certifications, and you realize the stuff they're asking you to do with this stuff, you're not even being paid for. Now, granted, this is another thing. Most firefighters, if you ask them, bro, they would do it for free. But you live in a society where they have families, so they can't do it for free. But if they had the option and their families were taken care of, they love the job enough to do it for free. I know a lot of them. I was one of them. So, bro, when she sits there and stands before you, and trust me, that chief was frustrated. And she's probably been lobbying for more equipment, more this, better pay, more firefighters, all this type of stuff. And she's drawing her line in the sand right here, clearly. Because her speaking out, normally you get a chief she's not gonna speak out against the administration. You know what I mean? It's chain of command everywhere you go. So you ain't gonna step out and speak, but clearly this is out of hand. Clearly it's really bad there for her to speak out to a news station about the inner workings and what's going on and things that she's lacking. When you see that, you know it's bad. It's really, really bad, bro. And any firefighter will tell you that they love the fire service, but they hate the politics side of it. They hate that. And now I'm stepping down off my rant.
I was also directed to develop a plan as part of a budget reduction exercise, and that could equate to $48.8 million. And I rang the bell that these additional cuts could be very, very devastating for our ability to provide public safety. That would have resulted to 15 fire stations closing down and potentially the elimination of over 300 firefighters. Again, I want to be clear that I submitted a very large budget that will actually allow our firefighters to do their jobs. And I tell you,
authorities are warning looters looking to take advantage of the disaster. They will be prosecuted. But we're also seeing so many people come together to help and lift each other up. Kana Whitworth is at Santa Anita Park with more on that. Good morning to you, Kana.
Yeah, Robin, good morning. Look, that support is on full display here. This is the parking lot. It is completely covered with donations here. This has been a community-run grassroots effort to help people in need. And to give you an idea of the scope of this, a lot of people lost everything that they had, and everyone that they know lost everything that they had. So this is a way that the community is just trying to get them the necessities.
This morning, the Los Angeles County Sheriff with an urgent warning to people who are taking advantage of a desperate situation.
Don't do it. Whether it is burglary, looting, or any other crime, whether it's a scam of some kind that you're conjuring up to make money off of the poor people that have been involved in this.
Officials warning burglars, looters, and scammers that they will be prosecuted if they take advantage of people who've been through this tragedy. A curfew order has been established from dusk till dawn in the affected fire zones to protect homes. Authorities increasing patrols and deploying the National Guard to assist. One suspect arrested after they were caught burglarizing a home in Malibu, disguised as a firefighter. The FBI now investigating the drone that collided with the Super Scooper air.
Disguised as, what are y'all doing in Malibu, bro? Disguised as a firefighter? Are you kidding me, man? That's a different type of low right there. Are you serious?
Aircraft while it was delivering desperately needed water to the Palisades fire. It will be back in operation today after this hole was punctured in it. Officials warning the public not to fly drones.
This is extremely illegal and extremely dangerous.
But also the best of humanity in Santa Anita Park. Thousands coming together to help those in need.
We are giving away free food.
It all started with a TikTok gaining thousands of views. Jerry Martinez, Juan Diaz, and Jimmy Medina simply wanted to give out food in their community. With their efforts inspiring others, and now turning this racetrack parking lot into a massive donation center.
Recently, we've been having so many donations from all over the state. We have wheelchairs, we have coffee pots, we have blankets, we have clothes, we have essentials, hygiene packs. The support from the community has been really, really, really moving.
It is amazing. Another thing that Alex shared with me is that some people lost so much that when they come here to this donation site, they don't even have a bag or anything to take stuff home with them. So they're trying to figure that out. People are having to make multiple trips out here. They saw thousands out here yesterday, and George, they expect thousands more again today and the coming days as well, George.
I'm sure we're going to see that. Okay, thanks very much.
Authorities are warning